How's it going, everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you how I built this little kitchenette. I put a slide out sink underneath the countertop. That way I could maximize the small area that I wanted this kitchenette to take up. So stick around and I will show you how I did it. For the base of my cabinets, I went with a piece of 3/4 inch plywood. I ripped it lengthwise at 20 inches wide. A normal kitchen cabinet is 24 inches deep, but I have a smaller area, so I'm going to stick with 20 inches. I still wanted a standard height on this cabinet though, so I cut the sides at 34.5 inches. Then I'm going to build a countertop that's 1.5 inches thick. That'll give me a 36-inch cabinet. Next, I laid out the toe kick area. I think I made it a little bit small. I probably should have looked up those dimensions or measured it, but it still works. I decided I should start on my countertop. That way the glue would have time to dry while I worked on other things. The reason I'm leaving this big open area without glue is because that's where the stove's going to go, and I don't really want to waste the extra lumber to cover that and then cut it out. For the finished countertop, I'm using the same cherry hardwood flooring that I put in the other cabin build. I also used that flooring to build the table in the camper. It's such nice stuff, I hate to see it go to waste, so I'm using it here. I really should buy a couple more of these big clamps, but since I don't have one, what I'm doing is clamping it lengthwise to tighten it up and then clamping it down to the board to hold it from sliding out. Once I've got everything clamped down, I'm just going to let it dry while I work on other stuff. I'm not a huge fan of directions, but with the RV stove that I'm going to use, I have to lay out this side of the cabinet per the directions so that it fits in there the right way. Kitchenette is going to sit pretty close to the wood stove, within tolerances listed on the stove, but I'm still going to put a heat shield on it anyways. I'm cutting this heat shield out to be the exact size of the kitchenette, including the countertop. So the countertop will be blocked from the stove, as well as the entire side of the kitchenette. I really enjoyed this part of the project. The countertop turned out really pretty. It was a fun job, and I think if I were to ever redo our countertops at home, I'll probably be doing it like this. I was a little concerned that I might split the countertop, so I drove all my nails into the plywood instead of into the top. Luckily, only one end of this kitchenette will be visible, and I have just enough of this pine left over to cover that end. The snow is still a little too deep for the truck, so I guess I got a little extra work out of the deal. I forgot to bring a tape measure, so I used the countertop to mark my trim where I need to cut it out. I have to say these oscillating tools are the coolest invention ever. That'd be such a hard cut to make any other way. That space is where the RV stove will sit. Pretty sure I could have saved myself some time and got by just fine with some shorter nails, but I always like to use what I have if I can. So the stove is going to go in this pocket. That means I need something to hold this side down. I'm going to use these little 90s. It's just a 2-hole 90. I'm going to put a piece across here so that it's right at the top. The stove will sit pretty much right against this board, or real close, I guess. I don't know, I went by the dimensions that it called for. So I had to use 3/4 inch screws. Fits perfect. That was all the lumber I had for this trip, which worked out well because I was able to get some nice, accurate measurements for the last pieces for the face. Then I went home to cut them out and build my cabinet doors and my drawer. This is the drawer face. Once again, cherry flooring. For all those people that say, I don't want lumber laying around, well, it saved me a lot of money. I built the drawer box out of the leftover plywood. Some of it was from other projects, scraps, whatever I had, so I didn't have to buy more lumber. These are going to be the cabinet doors. I glued each joint, clamped it tight, and just put these little boards across to hold them. One thing that makes for a lot nicer finish is to leave your boards longer and then cut straight line across all of them to get a nice straight top and bottom. Next thing I did was cut out a piece of plywood to use for the sink. My sink is going to be on a drawer type system. It's going to slide out from underneath the top of the cabinet to save space. One thing I found out later in the project was that I was mounting this on the wrong side and vice versa. So it was an easy fix. I just had to take them off and swap them around, but I guess I should have read the directions. This sink barely fit in the area that I had for it, so I had to get creative and use some different hardware, not the stuff that came with it. This side's getting a gasket. I was really happy with how tight these fit. It makes for a very nice finish. This up. Unless I missed something in the directions, this is a pretty easy stove to mount. Just 2 screws in the front. I didn't have a level, so I figured if I kept the gap at the top of the door from the countertop the same all the way across, it'd look pretty good in the end. Well, the door on the left slid a little bit while I was screwing it in, but that's what a sander's for. I'll just sand the door on the right down before I seal these, and they'll look nice again. Now I need a heat shield over there. I need to spin it around, hook up the gas line, drill a hole down through the floor, and put the propane tank outside. And I need to figure out how I'm going to route it. Here's where the gas comes in. I bought this kit. Hopefully this will work. We'll see. So let's see. Yeah, this. I'll try to get some Teflon. Get some good. Looks like that should work. Kind of a tight bend. I wonder, maybe if I bring the bend this way a bit, I won't be so hard on it. Yeah. There we go. Alright. You can see that's behind the plane. So right now I've got the propane tank hooked up inside. I haven't drilled a hole through the floor yet because I wanted to test out the stove before I drilled a hole through the floor. Nice. Lighting this, turn it, push, turn, and hold, and click it. And that lights the pilot light back here. Now I can start the oven. And that works. So I want to make the smallest hole I can through the floor. This is the smallest fitting. So if I take this off the regulator, feed it down through the floor, that'll be the smallest hole I can make. I'm going to drill really slow once I get down there a ways because I don't want to get into the insulation and twist it up in my drill bit. Well, there's my piece of wood. I lucked out not to be into this, but that was close. Anyways, another thing, a lot of people ask, oh, how's that insulation hold up? Is it molding? You know, stuff like that, but you can see it. It looks like brand new under here. It's holding up great. No tears, no infestation. Just new looking insulation. All right. I'm gonna use some of this pest block spray foam. Fill this hole up. This should be enough. I'm going to spray some up in here, but I'm also going to put a screen up here, fix a hole that I ripped. Alright, let's do this. We'll go right around here. Hope anyways. My sink drawer ended up being a little bit wider than I thought, so I had to notch out each side where it mounted. That's still covered by the door, so that's hidden. I'll use my square off face. Yes. You can see here I'm mounting these backwards, but that was an easy enough fix once I realized what I'd done. Oh, there we go. There we go. So I'm going to take this board off, move it down here so it sits underneath of this, then I'll close the cupboard door, and this will be braced on the cupboard door, plus it'll have the drawer slide. Move it right there. There. Screw started right here. Gives a little extra support. Alright, good to go. That should protect it from the wood stove being so close. I decided if I was going to use the doors to help support the sink, I needed a way to hold them tight together. So I tied a piece of paracord to one side, tied a hook on the other side so that I could hook them together and they'll stay tight underneath of the drawer. Yeah, that should work. A little extra support all the way around. I wanted to make sure I disconnected the outlet under the sink base. That way I'm not going to get zapped. I don't know which one has power, so I need to hook up the inverter and test it. 130 volts, so I need to disconnect this one. First I'm going to shut off the inverter. So I'm going to cut this one. I'm going to throw a wire nut on it. That way it can't get into anything. And for a little extra safety, throw a wrap of electrical tape on there. That not going anywhere. Maybe down the road I'll change something up. Might want to use that outlet again. If that's the case, I've got the wires there, I just need to hook them back up. I always like to make sure that my wire wraps clockwise. That way, when I'm tightening the screw, it's wrapping with the bend instead of opening the bend. This is going to be what my sink will drain into. There's the trash.
Charlie, come on in. Come on, buddy. Good boy. You ready for some eggs?
No, we don't spoil our dogs at all around here.
Dishcloths. Down here. All right, our water warm enough. That plug does not work at all. Really gotta push it down. Okay, there we go. Man, the sink drain plug is kind of worthless. Yes, that plug is not very good. What a piece of junk. Well, that might have to be swapped out, but oh well. I guess wash them in a hurry.
I think I need to find some kind of container with a foot pump so that I can rinse the dishes easier. If anybody's got suggestions, let me know.
Oh, happy water. I guess that's what you get for $5. The pop-up that I turned into a hard-sided camper, that is where this sink came from. Up together. I think this would be a good spot to let that dry out.
Well, that was a fun project, and it feels great to have the cabin just that much more usable.
You guys ready?
I hope everybody enjoyed this video,
Let's call it a week.
and I hope to see you all next time. Thanks for watching.